You won't believe this. Getting a remote data entry job with zero experience in 2026 is actually way easier than most people think. And here's the crazy part. You don't need a paid certificate, a tech background, or 120 words per minute typing skills. I mean, who does that, right? The real reason beginners struggle because they don't actually know what employers are looking for. Hey, I'm Maggie Steven. If you're new here, I share real strategies for you to land a remote job, building an online income, and using tools that makes working from home faster and stress-free. So today, I'm going to show you the roadmap to getting your first data entry remote jobs, even if you feel like you have zero experience. By the end of this video, you actually know practical insights on how to get started, what to practice right now, the free courses that actually matters and count, the job boards with legitimate openings, how to actually structure your resume, and how to actually stand out from all the other beginners. Alright, this video is going to be a full guide, so let's jump straight in. The first one that we're actually going to talk about is beginner-friendly niches that actually hire. This industry hire beginners fast because they rely on consistent, reliable data entry support. And yes, the niches that I actually talk about actually come from real listings. And the first on these niches are e-commerce. We're talking about Amazon, Shopify, or Etsy product data. The second on the list, which I think is a very beginner-friendly niches, is digital marketing agencies. And the third, coaches or consultants, or online course creators. The fourth one is healthcare admin, which is the non-clinical part. And the fifth one is research and transcription. The sixth one, in which you can focus on, is CRM cleanup for small businesses. And finally, the last one is online education companies. If you actually type these beginner-friendly niches down, whether you want to focus on online education companies or e-commerce companies, you'll find some opportunities there. But again, I want you to be super focused and actually tailor your resume to which you can actually see yourself 5 years from now. Again, these companies, they don't expect perfection. They expect what we call reliability. And you can give them that starting today. The second thing I'm going to talk about is the hard skills you actually need to land this job. And no, it's not actually what you think. A lot of beginners, when they want to apply for data entry remote jobs, they think they should be super qualified. They should be experienced. And they should know advanced Excel formulas or lightning fast typing. I mean, that is insane. With AI these days, I'm sure AI can handle all of that. But they want someone reliable that can actually handle Google Sheets. I'm talking about basic formulas like sorting, filtering, data validation, and the basic formulas which you probably use on a daily basis, like sum, average, and even count. And some of you might be shocked in hearing this, but Eggy, those are all the basic formulas that I know already by my hand. There you go. You have what we call the basic fundamentals. You can start to actually learn VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP formulas that can actually help you become a data entry individual. You'll need to also learn things like Google Workspace, like the basic one, Docs, Drive, Calendar, and pretty much you use it on a daily basis too. This is where you need to organize, share file, and even manage permission. And the third hard skills that I would probably mention out is basic research skill, because although you know all this formula and you can actually sort out your data or actually make a very clean data management system, companies, they actually want to hire someone who can look up for missing info without being spoon-fed. So they want someone who is actually a proactive learner, who is curious to finding the data so that everything else is complete, which includes verifying names, emails, and also product details. It will also be handy for you to actually know about project management tool, stuff like Asana, Trello, or ClickUp, because you actually know the pending items of the task that needs to be sorted or for it to get done. Because a lot of remote companies, this is what they actually use, so you actually need to know this software. And moving forward, beginner CRM tools is also quite handy for you to get your hands on. Stuff like HubSpot, Airtable, or also Notion. This would actually give you a bonus point if you're a candidate applying with the rest of other applicants out there. And when it comes to typing, a lot of people think, and there's a lot of misconception that thinks, hey, there's a lot of people who are just so mechanically good at typing. They can type like 120 words per minute. And that's crazy insane, right? You can probably watch that in the movie. But no, the goal here is actually 40 to 50 WPM, which is words per minute, with of course 95% accuracy. Remote companies, they're not just looking for someone who can type crazy fast with a lot of mistakes. Like I said again, they want someone who is reliable to make sure that the data is actually filled correctly. Because what's the point if they hire you and you can type crazy fast, well, there's a lot of AI that can generate results in just a matter of seconds. But then again, the data that you give towards the employers is going to be very accurate. And that's why they need someone like you. Okay, so that was the hard skills. Now, I want to talk about the soft skills that you actually need. Because a lot of soft skills, they're probably looked upon because people focus on the hard skill and ignore these soft skills. And when I talk about soft skills, a lot of people actually skip on this video. They think, hey, it's all about communication, it's all about building relationship, blah, 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 and so on. Well, when I talk about soft skills, these actually matters because it makes managers trust you even more. The first soft skills that I actually want to talk about is accuracy first mindset. I've been working remotely for over 3 years and I've come across data entry individuals who finish their work fast, but guess what? They never double check their work. I'm seeing errors and I catch mistakes early on. And these are usually data entry individuals with a very low wage per hour. So if you want to stand out or even land a job here, make sure that you have the soft skills in double checking your work and making sure that you're a reliable person, that whenever you submit your work, it's always going to be accurate. The second soft skill is actually process discipline. Remote companies, they have an SOP, they have a template. And for you, when you come into the company, I want you to adapt to these SOPs and actually template. Different companies have different systems and process. So you actually need to know how their process work on a daily basis. The third soft skills that I want to talk about is steady and predictable output. Companies, they actually care about result. But when I mean about result, it's not just fast result. They care about the consistency of your work. Are you someone who just submits your work fast but there's a lot of mistake? Or are you someone who takes their time, submits on time according to the deadline, and make sure that all the data is verified and accurate? So that's something that you should keep in mind. And the fourth skill is clear, proactive communication. Of course, communication is going to be a crucial role here. A simple message in which you can talk to your employee is breaking down 3 key components. Here's the issue, here's what I tried, here's the fix I recommend. It shows that you're someone who actually knows what's the issue that's been the bottleneck in the company. And by proactive communication is that you're actually trying your best to figure out the problem first before bringing it up to your employer. And by that, if you fail to actually find a solution, you can actually suggest a lot of other recommendations for them to actually choose from. This will actually make you a very great data entry person because it shows that you're someone who doesn't want to hijack the company's systems or process, but you're someone who likes to collaborate, likes to discuss. The fifth one is simple troubleshooting and initiative. As you all are aware, whenever you're working, there's always going to be that small hiccups or even small challenges along the way. I want you to be someone who can actually spot patterns, suggest small improvement, like using trim or bulk file, and ask to your employer if you can actually implement them. The sixth one on the list is actually confidentiality and professionalism. It goes actually without saying. Everything that the employer has shared to you, you must need to keep it to yourself. That means no sharing data outside of the company regulation and also workforce. And yes, the seventh on the list is time management. If you're stuck working without personal life, trust me, you're going to be stressed along the way. This means you actually need to know when to submit your work upon the deadline, update statuses, and also communication availability. So if you actually implement all the soft skills, although not directly or naturally, but upon following the soft skills from time to time and keeping this as a reminder, trust me, you'll probably stand out more than the rest of other people applying to this job. Alright, moving on, I want to talk about certification. And yes, in the hope you probably heard me say you don't need any paid certifications, right? But these certifications, they help you look prepared and even credible. And I'm not talking about the paid ones. These certification, you can actually get it for free. So hear me out. The first on the list is Google Workspace Essentials. The second on the list is HubSpot CRM Academy. The third on the list is Airtable's Foundations. And the fourth on the list is Coursera. You can actually look out for free version on Excel for beginners. These courses, they range between 3 to actually 8 hours or even up to 10 hours depending on the course. And a good thing would probably be add them to your resume. So if you actually want to learn more about the certifications, check out the link down below. I'm going to share it to all of you. And for the next part, I actually want to elaborate how to get experience with zero experience. I'm placing myself in your position. You're someone who just want to start working, and probably you've heard a lot of your seniors or colleagues, they're in the data entry remote job, or even in the traditional job, and they're earning quite a good fortune of money. So here's what I want to say to all of you. You don't wait for experience. You create it. The first thing what I want you to do is actually build a mini portfolio. Remember what I said about soft skills being proactive? It starts now. You can create a mini portfolio in a sample Google Sheet, a CRM built-in in Notion or even Airtable, or you can actually show a cleanup spreadsheet before and after. It shows the transformation, right? And you can even actually create a fake product upload sheet. Any of this list that I just mentioned now will probably do you good. You're not just someone who is idling and waiting for opportunities to come. You're actually creating opportunities, and this becomes your proof of skill. The second path, if that's too boring, I actually want you to go to the field directly. This means volunteering for microtasks. You can actually go ahead and ask small business, coaches, or even non-profitable organization and ask them, hey, do you actually need someone who can organize your spreadsheet or uploading entries? Let me volunteer and give you a helping hand. And you can actually offer them 1 or 2 hours of your time. And that, my friend, will translate into your resume experience. You can say that I've worked for this company for this specific amount of time, and here's the result. Now come for the third path, which is doing sample tasks on Upwork. Like I said, you've already made your portfolio, so this time you're going to need to upload them. This will actually increase your visibility towards other employers to showcase them that you're actively working and you're available and open to work. And you might actually be thinking about what companies are actually looking for in a candidate. So being straightforward, I'm probably going to say they want someone who is consistent, organized, detail-oriented, communicative, that knows how to follow instructions, knows how to adapt and learn tools quickly, and doesn't disappear after onboarding. Hey, if they pay you a low wage and you're someone without no experience, take that with a hand of gratitude. A lot of this list that I actually told you about, these are soft skills that you actually need to hone. Trust me, they don't actually need fancy degrees or even years of experience, because a lot of these companies, they want someone who's fresh, someone that can adapt to their system like a baby being born into this world and quickly take in knowledge here and there. And most importantly, they need someone who makes their life easier. Alright, enough of me talking. Where can you actually find these remote jobs, right? If you're looking for data entry remote jobs, you can actually find them easily on Indeed, ZipRecruiters, LinkedIn Jobs, or even Simply Hire. But these type of platforms, they often mix hybrid work and also remote job, or even coming to the office. So I'd probably say use the filters wisely. If you're only looking for platforms who 100% give you remote job position, you can actually check in remote.co, We Work Remotely, Working Nomads, or just remote. But if you think that you're not prepared to work part-time or even full-time jobs and you just want a simple gig, well, my friend, you can actually start going to ClickWorker, Teamwork.ai, Remote Task, Appen, or even Mod Squad. But again, the pay is not actually going to be that good as compared to a full-time job. If you're looking to be a freelancer, you can actually try Upwork or Fiverr, and probably you already have known this before. But a bonus tip for me is actually you want to be very specific, which means the search term is actually the most crucial part. A couple of search terms that I find a lot of opportunities in when I'm actually typing data entry, remote job position, operations assistant, content uploader, CRM assistant, and even administrative assistant, but you gotta sort this out remotely. This exact search term will reveal more opportunities than simply writing data entry jobs. And moving on is that I got a lot of common questions of people asking, what do you actually require in your home office setup? My answer to that question would probably be, you don't actually need a fancy setup. Just any modern laptop with 8 GB plus RAM is highly recommended. And the most important and the most crucial thing is stable internet connection. We're talking about 25 Mbps speed to even 30 Mbps speed is very crucial. You might need one monitor to separate your data from your laptop and also the big picture in another monitor. That's a bonus, but if you can't afford it, maybe start with the laptop first. And a good headset for that onboarding calls, and even your own cloud backup, just to make sure that your data doesn't go missing if it was mistakenly deleted. And now I'm going to talk about how your work will be measured. Remote data entry performance is usually tracked by entries per hour, accuracy rate, like I said, 95% or above. And the third one is task completion speed. So the more tasks you completed, the better. Responsiveness, like I said, proactive communication, thinking outside the box, and solution oriented. And quality checks at actually a low error rate. Knowing this will actually make you far more more prepared when it comes to the interview. Alright, after following all the steps, the soft skills, the hard skills, what you need, I'm going to talk about the most crucial thing, which is the interview, because that will determine whether you get this job or not. A lot of candidates actually fail at this part because, trust me, there's just a lot of candidates to choose from. So here are some little tips that I've researched which would probably help you land the remote jobs. If they ask about experience, and I'm pretty sure a lot of employers will actually ask this, I don't want you to be an airhead, meaning saying right off the bat, I got no experience. Because hey, that shows that you're someone that just bluntly speak out what you are. So I actually want to say something along the lines like, I've built several sample projects in Google Sheets or in Notion, and I'm confident that I can learn your exact systems quickly. This line shows that you're someone who is well prepared. You are well trained, you have a good time management, and you're actually a proactive thinker. It shows confidence and not much of an ego. And the second question is, if they ask, why should they hire you? The soft skills that I mentioned previously, you can mention all of that, but not maybe all of that if you think you're not confident that you have those skills already. Say something along the line, I communicate proactively and I'm consistent with details, meaning I double check my work 2 or even 3 times to make sure all data are valid and I don't need constant oversight. This makes the employer actually think that they're not going to spoon feed you every time there's a problem that arises, but you're someone who's actually prepared for that problem and they know that they can trust on you and rely on you to solve that problem. And finally, this one's an extra. If they actually ask you about tools, you probably do your research beforehand to actually see the type of tools that I actually use. So say something like this, I've practiced Google Sheets, HubSpot CRM, Airtable, and also ClickUp. I'm also confident in documenting the process as I'm learning about your system and actually what you guys do. This shows that you're someone who is not just process and result oriented, but you're also a team builder. That means if someone else was recruited to help you, you would probably know how to train them and to effectively communicate with them. Like I mentioned beforehand, you're not selling experience, you're selling reliability. And thank you so much for watching all the way throughout this entire video. As a bonus tip, I want you to actually know the tools that actually come in handy when we're talking about data entry remote job. And these are, again, Google Sheets or Excel, Notion or Airtable, HubSpot CRM, Trello, ClickUp, Asana, or any other project management tools out there, Slack for communication. I'm pretty much sure that you're gonna get it instantly right off the bat. And having some email decency, fundamental skills on how to write professionally. And as a bonus, if you know how to do automations with tools like Zapier and even share your process by explaining to other team with Looms, and even a little bit of designing skills like Canva would help you along the line. So that's exactly how to get a data entry remote job even with zero experience. Like I said, you don't need to be perfect. You need to be reliable, consistent, and well prepared. And that's it from me. If you guys find this video valuable or even helpful, I wish you good luck in landing that data entry remote job in the next month, the next 2 months, or at the end of the year. I'm not sure if watching this video from time to time will actually help you get a remote job, but it can certainly increase your success in landing that remote job. That's basically it for the video. Comment down below if you actually landed a remote job in this position. If you like the video, click on that like and subscribe button, and see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.